Trump administration has failed the American people. Republicans have failed the American people. Extreme MAGA Republicans, led by Donald Trump, have failed on the economy, they have failed on health care, and they have failed on immigration enforcement. ICE is completely and totally out of control. We know they need to be reined in now. Taxpayer dollars should be used to make life more affordable for the American people, not brutalize or kill them under Donald Trump and Republicans, who've gone way too far, and the American people know it. Get ICE under control. It's a rogue agency right now. Trump administration has failed the American people. Republicans have failed the American people. Extreme MAGA Republicans, led by Donald Trump, have failed on the economy, they have failed on health care, and they have failed on immigration enforcement. ICE is completely and totally out of control. We know they need to be reined in now, without further delay. Taxpayer dollars should be used to make life more affordable for the American people, not brutalize or kill them, which is what took place in Minneapolis, and it's what is taking place all across America whenever these masked and untrained ICE agents show up on the scene. House Democrats continue to be committed to making life more affordable for Americans, for driving down the high cost of living. We're committed to fixing our broken healthcare system. And of course, we need to get ICE under control and deliver a country that is consistent with our values, with who we are. That's not what we're seeing right now under Donald Trump and Republicans, who've gone way too far, and the American people know it, which is why Republicans continue to lose elections all across America. Questions?
Good morning. Game this out for me. If they do get an agreement in the Senate and something comes back over here, do you expect, again, Republicans to carry most of the freight and you get a handful of moderate Democrats who might vote for something? Is that the type of deal? Or do you say, okay, we're going to have something that, yes, we Democrats in the House can support this because these are bona fide reforms to ICE?
Funding for ICE and the Department of Homeland Security should not move forward in the absence of dramatic changes that are bold, meaningful, and transformational. Period. Full stop. That's the House Democratic Caucus position, and that's the Senate Democratic Caucus position. And absent dramatic changes being built into the law, it's my expectation that any legislation that falls short of that will fail today in the United States Senate.
Just to piggyback on that, Mr. Leader, I know earlier this week you told me you felt that the White House had walked away from some of Democrats' core asks or proposals. So have you seen the latest offer that they put on the table last night? And if so, has your posture changed at all?
I'm in the process of reviewing the most recent so-called offer from the White House. We'll take a look at it. But my preliminary assessment of it is that it falls short of the type of dramatic changes necessary in order to change ICE's out-of-control behavior and deliver immigration enforcement that actually focuses on violent felons who are here illegally, which is what the president promised to do, and he lied, because taxpayer dollars are being used to brutalize and kill American citizens or violently target law-abiding immigrant families, and that's unacceptable. In our view, for instance, we need to make sure that if ICE agents or DHS agents violate the law or are engaging in violent behavior that brings harm to everyday Americans, they are held accountable independently through state and local investigations and, if merited, criminal prosecutions. There's no indication that the White House is prepared to walk away from its outrageous position that federal agents who violate the law under the banner of ICE are able to benefit from so-called absolute immunity. That's not America, where no one is above the law. And that administration position is incentivizing ICE agents to violently brutalize people in American communities with impunity, because the administration has told them they don't have to worry about ever being held accountable. That's just one of the types of common sense changes necessary in order to do what the American people want us to do, which is get ICE under control. It's a rogue agency right now, using taxpayer dollars to do harm to the American people. That's unacceptable.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. New Jersey Democrat Annalila Mejia, who just won her special election primary, has not committed to supporting you as party leader. As you look to retake the House later this fall, are you worried about the growing number of candidates who are withholding their support from you?
No.
Reporting indicates that there's 20 candidates who are no's and 57.
What was
who are-
unclear about that answer that I just gave you? First of all, I had a very good conversation with her 2 days ago. I've stood for this position as leader and or the next Democratic speaker, I think it's 19 or 20 times. Since you're following this closely, how many times has a Democrat on the floor of the House of Representatives voted against my candidacy?
I don't know, sir. We have quite many.
Your-
who are
your-
going
your-
to
your-
be
well,
elected
so your
as the
silence
leaders
says
here.
it all. Unanimous support every single time. Next question. Paul?
To follow up on that, though, are you at all concerned that there will be some candidates who come through primaries in races that are battleground targets? California 48, Nebraska 2, Colorado 8. There are some really competitive primaries with a very diverse field ideologically. You know, do you worry about losing seats the way Republicans have done so in the past?
Well, the DCCC doesn't get involved in primaries. We'll monitor all of these races closely. The battlefield was just expanded in terms of the seats that are in play from 39 to 44. Now, let's remember, we're only 3 seats short of taking back control of the House of Representatives. That is a historically close margin, because despite what Mike Johnson, Donald Trump, Republicans, and their propaganda machine had been saying in the aftermath of the November 2024 election, there was no massive mandate. It was a close election with respect to the House. And unlike 2018, where we needed to win 24 seats, and by the way, we won 40 in a similar electoral environment to the one that exists right now, we only need to net 3. It's happening. Democrats are going to take back control of the House. And the only question is, what's the margin? And we understand that. Now, Mike Johnson and Republicans tried to spin everybody after they were crushed all of last year, including in the November off-year elections. And some people fell for it and said, well, Mike Johnson is claiming that Democrats are only winning in blue or maybe purplish states. Of course, that was not accurate. Yes, we decisively won in New Jersey by 14 or 15 points. Yes, we won in Virginia, where there was a Republican governor at the time. But we also won 3 state Supreme Court seats in Pennsylvania, a state that Donald Trump had just won. We won a state Supreme Court election in Wisconsin, a state that Donald Trump had just won. We won statewide races in Georgia for the first time in 20 years, a state that Donald Trump had just won. We ended the Republican supermajority in Mississippi, a state that Donald Trump and Republicans decisively win year after year after year. But as if that wasn't enough, we've now seen in 3 consecutive months, in 3 consecutive red states, Democrats not just win, but decisively win. That was the case in December in South Florida, where we won the Miami mayorship for the first time in nearly 30 years. And the Democratic candidate won by 20 points in deep red Florida. And then in January, we won a special election in deep red Texas, in a district that Donald Trump had just won by 17 points. The Democrat wins by 14. I talked to him yesterday again. And we overperformed by 31 in a state Senate district that's larger than congressional districts. And then, of course, in February, 3 consecutive months, 3 consecutive red states, 3 consecutive results where Democrats decisively won. In a Louisiana House district that Donald Trump had just won by 13 points, we win by 24. That's a 37-point overperformance in deep red Louisiana. Mike Johnson and Steve Scalise's home state. They are shaking in their boots right now. So yes, we're going to continue to monitor the 44 seats that are in play. We've got to only net 3. That's happening. And the likelihood is we're going to win much more than that.